Good Friday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, we made it to the end of another week. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Friday with a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. And in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you'll be part of my conversation with international recording artist Melba Moore. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Friday headlines. In international news, UN inspectors arrive at Ukraine nuclear plant amid fighting. A UN inspection team entered Ukraine's nuclear power plant Thursday on a mission to safeguard it against catastrophe, reaching the site amid fighting between Russian and Ukrainian forces that prompted the shutdown of one reactor and underscored the urgency of the task. The 14-member delegation from the International Atomic Energy Agency arrived in a convoy of SUVs and vans after months of negotiations to enable the experts to pass through the front lines and get inside Europe's biggest nuclear plant. The IAEA is now there at the plant and it's not moving. It's going to stay there. We're going to have a continued presence there at the plant with some of my experts, the IAEA director said, declaring that the group got its first look at the conditions inside, and he added, "I will continue to be worried about the plant until we have a situation which is more stable." As the experts made their way through the war zone toward the complex, Russia and Ukraine accused each other of shelling the area and trying to derail the visit. The fighting delayed the team's progress. There were moments when fire was obvious. Heavy machine guns, artillery, mortars at 2 or 3 times were really very concerning, said the director. Just before the IAEA team arrived, Ukraine's state nuclear power company said Russian mortar shelling had led to the shutdown of one of its reactors by its emergency protection system and had damaged backup power supply line used for in-house needs. One of the plant's reactors that wasn't operating was switched to diesel generators. Once inside the plant, the director said his experts were able to tour the entire site, including control rooms, emergency systems, and diesel generators. He said he met with the plant staff and residents of the nearby village who asked him for help from the agency. He reported that the team had collected important information in its initial inspection and will remain there to continue its assessment. It is obvious that the plant and the physical integrity of the plant has been violated several times by chance. Deliberately, we don't have the elements to assess that, said the director. And this is why we are trying to put in place certain mechanisms and the presence, as I said, of our people there. The plant has been occupied by Russian forces but run by Ukrainian engineers since the early days of the 6-month-old war. Ukraine alleges Russia is using it as a shield to launch attacks, while Moscow accuses Ukraine of recklessly firing up in the area. Ukrainian President Zelensky had tough words for the IAEA delegation. While applauding its arrival at the plant, he said independent journalism were kept from covering the visit, allowing the Russians to present a one-sided feudal tour. And he said that while the director agreed to support Ukrainian demands for the demilitarization of the plant, including the withdrawal of Russian forces from it, the IAEA has yet to issue such a call publicly. In national news, Mississippi Capitol's water disaster developed over decades, says the Associated Press. For at least the third time in a dozen years, portable toilets are parked outside the ornate Mississippi Capitol because Jackson's water system is in crisis. The Big Gotta Go trailer is just one example of the city's desperation. Many homes, businesses, and government offices have had little or no running water this week, forcing people to wait in long lines for bottled water to drink and to flush toilets. The scenes testify to the near collapse of a water system the residents could not trust even in the best of times. The failure to provide such an essential service reflects decades of government misfunction, population change, and decaying infrastructure, says the Associated Press. It has also fueled a political battle in which largely white GOP state lawmakers have shown little interest in helping a mostly black city run by Democrats. When Governor Tate Reeves and President Joe Biden declared the situation an emergency, residents had already been advised for a month to boil their water before doing everything from brushing teeth to boiling pasta. In more national news, CDC advisors weigh who needs updated COVID booster and when. COVID-19 boosters updated to match the newest Omicron strands are about to roll out, and government advisors met Thursday to decide who should roll up their sleeves and when. The tweaked shots made by Pfizer and rival Moderna promise Americans a chance at their most up-to-date protection at yet another critical period in the pandemic. The U.S. still is experiencing tens of thousands of coronavirus cases and about 500 deaths every day, and those numbers are expected to surge again in the fall. And finally, in business news, stocks end mixed on Wall Street. S&P 500 ekes out a gain. A late burst of buying erased some of the stock market's losses Thursday, leaving indexes mixed on Wall Street, though still on pace to end lower for the week. The S&P 500 rose 0.3% after having been down 1.3% earlier in the day. The benchmark index positive turn in the last 10 minutes of trading ended a 4-day losing streak. The Dow Jones Industrial Average also bounced back from an early slide to finish with a 0.5% gain, while the tech-heavy NASDAQ composite fell 0.3%. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's on time for a message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By. Enjoy. Good Friday, everyone. I'm Cyrus Webb, and welcome to Words I Choose to Live By. Real joy can be yours when you stop measuring yourself by others and realize that you are destined to be the absolute best you possible. It's up to you to believe it. Have a great Friday and enjoy your weekend. Melba Moore speaks on today's Entertainment Spotlight right here on Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with Entertainment Spotlight. International recording artist Melba Moore joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about her extraordinary year and what it's been like for her to see her work being rewarded. Here's a bit of our conversation.
Well, you are having just an extraordinary year. I mean, you have had an amazing career, of course. But, we hear all the time, Ms. Moore, about making sure that people who we value, we treasure, giving them their flowers while they can enjoy them. You literally, I saw you in one of your photos coming from the airport with a flower. So how does that feel
to
be
my
getting
flowers in my hand?
Right. I mean, so how does it feel to be able to see all this love and feel all this love that's coming your way this year?
I am so grateful. I am so excited. I feel actually physically like the heavens have opened up and it's just raining love and anything that you would want in your life. I just see it happening, especially in August.
Yeah.
Everything, and there's so much still happening. Every time I talk to my manager, he calls me and tells me, well, first of all, people are inviting me to perform songs from the album. Like they picked out like the highest star is one of the songs. Of course, you mentioned So in Love. Another one that people are really gravitating toward, I guess with a little humor, is Take a Picture Down. So a whole European tour is coming out of that album. But
wow.
Of course, you had mentioned too, the Hollywood Walk of Fame is coming up. It's already official, but it's going to be held in 2023.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this edition of Conversations Daily News. Prepare to go on Monday with more news, message from my book, Words I Choose to Live By, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Now let's go make it a great one.